Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. If you'll remember from a previous video, I mentioned I was going to be doing some Tarkov content on the channel. This is not that. But I do want to talk about something that's been on my mind, been on a lot of people's minds, I think. The Switch 2, right? Let's talk about that. So we all saw the Direct. Pretty good Direct. Best one in a while, I'd say, in my humble opinion. But also a little, what's the term I'm looking for? It's like when someone gives you a backhanded, like, oh, you look fine. Or no, like, oh, you look much better today. You know what I mean? That's how this Direct kind of felt. Because they start off with the, hey, look at this new Mario Kart game, which is basically Nintendo's version of Forza Horizon, which I'm not complaining about. That's an awesome idea. Free roam Mario Kart. I don't know why they haven't done that yet. I also don't know why they haven't made a second Double Dash game, but that's why I don't make the big bucks, I guess. I don't know what I'm talking about, so whatever. But they show this new Mario Kart game, and you're very ooh, ah. And then they're like, also, here's what the Switch 2 is going to look like. Ooh, ah. It's so sleek. It looks premium. Honestly, it looks exactly what you would imagine the Switch 2 would look like. It looks like a Switch, but nicer, newer, hopefully better, which we'll get to. I'm going to pull up little bits of the Direct, kind of show what I'm talking about. Not too much, though, because, you know how Nintendo is. Hang on, this isn't what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the first look. Here we go. Okay. So, they show us in this trailer that they released this before the Direct came out. A little while before. The Direct came out, 10 days ago. This came out a couple months ago. So we had this to chew on while we were waiting for the Direct. But you can see here, the screen is bigger, which, it should be. It's got this matte, It's got this new matte finish on the device, which I'm a fan of. I like that way more than, like, smooth plastic. Smooth plastic just doesn't feel right after you've been playing for a while and your hands get sweaty. It doesn't feel very good. Not that matte completely gets rid of that issue, but just matte feels better, in my opinion. Here, so they've got two USB-C ports on this bad boy. They've got one on the bottom, as shown here, one on the bottom of the device, and then they were like, boom, one on the top. So now you can charge it when it's sitting on your table or whatever. Finally, I don't know why this wasn't in the first Switch from the get-go. Like, for real. Like, this is like, I'm excited about that, but this is what I was talking about. Like, it's all kind of like, this is a really cool reveal. This and the Direct, what they show in the Direct, both very good reveals until you think about it for a little longer. And then it's like, yeah, it's cool, but like, should we be applauding the bare minimum? I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's keep going. New stand, new kickstand, much better. The original had like just this one, it would be this one little sliver, but it was like half as long. None of this extra support here, just this little fucking toothpick holding this whole device up. This is a much better upgrade here. The Joy-Cons are magnetic now, which I really like. Instead of them slotting in with like a rail system, they just stick in with magnets. Magnets, how do those work? I like that the colors are they're like an accent to each Joy-Con and not the whole Joy-Con color. That's probably more just a personal thing, but I was never really a big fan of the one blue, one red Joy-Con. When I got my Switch, I got the gray one, so obviously I prefer this, but I do like having a little bit of color. I just think this is a better way of doing the color, just having accent, you know what I mean? And when you click it in, you'll just see it on each joystick, which again, I like that. It's subtle. Less is more. Okay, so that was the Switch 2 reveal. Now we're on to the Direct, and they announced that there is a microphone. Well, for one, there's going to be game chat built in, which is cool. I feel like they could have just added Discord, though, like Xbox and PlayStation have. But I guess this is Nintendo we're talking about. They show these actors, like streaming their gameplay to each other, and it does not look good. It looks quite bad, actually. Yeah, like, dude, look at that. Oh, that's rough. That's rough. Let me get an instant replay. Oof. Yeah, that's bad. That's rough. But I don't see, like, myself using this feature very often. Like, I'll use the game chat feature, obviously, but the screen sharing thing, that is just hard. But again, this is Nintendo, so what do you expect? And then they show this camera accessory, and like, it's cool. Like, they show that this will be used in some games. Like right here, they show it'll, instead of having like a little character picture, it'll be you, which is neat. It's kind of cool. I'll give them that. However, maybe just let me connect my own webcam, you know? Because how much do you think this camera is going to cost? $80? Maybe more? My guess is more. I mean, Mario Kart itself is $80. We'll talk about that too. But if a new game on this thing is going to be $80, I bet an accessory like this is expensive. The original Joy-Cons on the first Switch were like $70 for the pair, unless they're like a special edition, like the Zelda ones. Yeah, these special Zelda ones, these were $80. $80. Like, I get there's a lot of technology packed into these, and it's a limited edition thing, but $80 for these Switch controllers just feels like a lot, doesn't it? I mean, like a new Xbox controller is like $60. But for all intents and purposes, Xbox controllers have kind of always been the same. Or at least like Xbox One and then the Series. Those controllers are by and large the same thing. And they're not like, they don't have a bunch of special features built into them. Like a DualSense. This has the touchpad on it. It's got the adaptive triggers. It's got special like rumble feature built in. It has a mic built into it, a speaker, you know. I can kind of understand why this is $70 as opposed to $60. But then you compare this to Joy-Cons. Even these Joy-Cons that have a special design with matching bumpers on them, this is $80. That just, I feel like that math isn't mathing. All that is to say, I guarantee you that these new Joy-Cons will cost more than that. Probably. I bet regular Switch 2 Joy-Cons will be 70, probably 80, if I had to guess. Which means this, I'm saying, will be the same or more, for sure, at least. And I feel like maybe I'm being too generous. The console itself is going to be $450. Well, probably more if you live in the US because of tariffs, but that's neither. I don't know. All I'm saying, I'm not totally sure this camera accessory is going to be worth the possible price tag. But the same could probably be said about a lot of things surrounding this release. I don't know. Now, oh my gosh. So this game that they talk about, this Think Astro's Playroom on the PS5. And I'm going to continue to compare this to that for several reasons. So this whole thing, the idea is that you get to walk around the Switch 2 and it's like a museum for the Switch 2, telling you all about it. Features and all kinds of things, which is a very cool idea. Now, Astro's Playroom, if you're not familiar, the whole thing with Astro's Playroom is you play as Astro, the little robot, and you explore the inside of a PlayStation 5. And there are multiple worlds to play through, and each one focuses on a different aspect of the PlayStation's hardware. There's one based around the graphics card. There's one based around the memory. There's one based around the fans. And when you first open this game, it starts with a little demo showing you the technology in the controller, which is like one of the biggest selling points for the PlayStation 5 was this new controller. And this whole game is just designed to get you acquainted with all the cool shit that you're about to experience with your new console. The coolest part is that it's free. It's a fully fledged, like, small-ish platformer game. PlayStation later released a full game based on that little demo called Astrobot, and they did charge a full game price for it. I think it was $60 or $70, and it won awards. People loved Astrobot. It's the new Mario, or Sony's Mario, whatever you want to call it. It was just more of everything you loved about Astro's Playroom. But Astro's Playroom is a very good full experience on its own, and it's free. All you have to do is download it from the PlayStation Store. It is free. It basically comes with it. But now Nintendo has made their own version of this idea, and they want full price for it. And this is not, based on what they show us in this snippet, is not nearly as much game as Astrobot was. This is much more informational. This is a lot of listening and reading and watching. Not much playing appears to be going on. Why do I have French subtitles? Yeah. Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. Available on the same day as a paid digital-only game. So it is not a pack-in title, which it very well should be. Like, this is kind of, I mean, I'm not going to say the perfect pack-in, because Astrobot or like Wii Sports, those are perfect pack. This isn't even fully based on just what we're seeing in this. Obviously, no one's even played it. But based on what we see here, this is not even close to Wii Sports or Astrobot. Which, again, Astrobot, free download. Wii Sports came with the Wii. This, they're going to charge you for it, and it's digital only. You'll never own a physical copy of this game, unless they release a physical copy later, which, doubt, but who knows? And this does not sit right with me, personally. I don't fuck with it. And they announce GameCube games are coming to the Switch, which is cool. GameCube is one of my favorite consoles, if not my favorite console ever made. But again, this feels like one of those backhanded compliment announcements I'm talking about, where like, yeah, oh hell yeah, they're adding GameCube games, but only if you have the more expensive tier of Switch Online, only if you have the Switch 2, because this will not be available on the original Switch. It's only going to be available on the Switch 2. Only if you have the higher tier subscription. And like, where was this on the first Switch? Why couldn't they do this before? How could the Switch not run GameCube games? Like, surely it can. And like, yeah, it's cool that I'll get to play Super Mario Sunshine in 4K, but I mean, let's just cut the shit. We can't just pretend like emulators don't exist and people haven't been using them forever, because Nintendo won't just re-release these big hit games that everybody loves, or make a service like this a little more accessible. Because now, if somebody, I don't know, is a huge Super Mario Strikers fan or a huge Chibi Robo fan, and for whatever reason they have no way of playing these games otherwise, they have to, one, buy the Switch 2, which is $450, and then they gotta get the higher tier Switch Online subscription, which is, I think, $50 a year, which, I mean, is cheaper than like Xbox Live or PlayStation Network. But I don't know if you've used any of the Switch's like online games and try to play with other people, but it is less than stellar, let me tell you. It is a sight to behold. And I mean, yeah, I would hope it's going to be better on the Switch too, but who knows, dude? Like, with a track record like that, who knows? So $50 for that, and now you can play Super Mario Strikers. I don't know. I'm sure this is worth it to a lot of people. I just feel like it's cool, but I don't know. I guess I'm just not as excited as I feel like they want me to be about this, but maybe I'm just jaded. So, okay, so let's talk about the specs on this thing, right? They're saying that the Switch 2 is going to support 4K at 60 frames when docked on a TV. And that's sick. But not every game is going to support 60 frames. And obviously 4K 60 frames is awesome. But my PS5 can do that and has been doing that for a good long while now. So that being a feature on the new Switch isn't exactly something that's making me go, oh, I've got to go out and get one of these day one when they drop, because I've been playing in 4K 60 frames. My PlayStation has ray tracing capability. I can almost guarantee you the Switch 2 is not going to have ray tracing. And even if it could, I mean, no Nintendo game is going to use ray tracing technology. It's going to be games like all these big ones that they're boasting about. I mean, some older, some new. Like Borderlands 4. They're saying Borderlands 4 is going to be on the Switch too. But again, you might be able to play this in 4K 60, but it's still not going to look or run as good as if you played it on like a PS5, PC. Again, it's PC. But these are consoles that have been out for years now. The PS5, the Xbox Series, these consoles have now been out for several years and have the same actually higher capability, because the PlayStation 5, I don't know. No, yeah. The latest Xbox and PlayStation can both run at 120 frames on certain games with the right setup. And you're not going to be able to do that on Borderlands 4 for the Switch 2. And this is a brand new console that has yet to come out. And I guess that's the bitter taste in my mouth through this whole thing, is that 4K 60 frames is awesome. Game chat is awesome. Being able to play big games like Cyberpunk 2077 and Borderlands 4 is awesome. But none of this stuff is new. This is stuff that we have had access to on other consoles for years now, and Nintendo is just now I can't even say catching up because it's still not going to be as good as playing one of these other consoles that has been out for years now. And this is a brand new console. And for $450, I mean, it is cheaper than buying a brand new PS5 or an Xbox, but you just get so much more out of an Xbox or a PlayStation for that extra $50. I guess that is my general state of mind for this release of the Switch 2, is that it's cool, but, you know what I mean? It's cool, but, and I'm talking all this shit like I'm not going to get a Switch 2, or I'm not going to get Mario Kart World, because I am. Because I want to play Mario Kart World. I do want to play some of my favorite Nintendo games in 4K 60 frames on my TV. I do want to do that. But I feel like I should have been doing that already. I feel like for the newest, latest, and greatest Nintendo console, it should be more than what is now the bare minimum. That's just how I feel about it. New Donkey Kong looks dope, though. I like the new design. A lot of people are shitting on it for some reason. This looks great. Look at him. Look at my boy. Donkey Kong Bonanza. Probably another $80 game. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not an expert on this shit. I'm just a consumer. A humble consumer with thoughts and feelings and opinions. That's pretty much all I've got to say about it, I think. What do you guys think? Are you going to get a Switch 2 when it comes out? Are you going to get Mario Kart World, the new Donkey Kong, etc.? Or things about the Switch 2 that you're excited about that I didn't mention? Do you feel differently than I do? Please let me know. Let me know what you think. Comment your thoughts. I want to know what you guys are thinking. Am I just bitching? Is this like actually just peak and I'm wrong? I don't know. But yeah, I think that's it. For some reason, talking about this has somewhat noticeably changed my mood, and I don't like that. So I'm gonna go I can play Fortnite or something. I don't know. Bye guys.